and welcome to another episode of Cookies with Carrie. Today, I'm going to be making for you monster mochaccino cookies. When my daughter was young, she loved cherries. Anytime we went somewhere, she was always taking my cherries for my food or my drink. If you are a cherry lover and you like coffee, these are the cookies for you. Now let's get started. The ingredients that we'll be using today will be 2 2/3 cup bittersweet 60% cacao chocolate, a half a cup of butter, 4 eggs at room temperature, 1 1/2 cups of sugar, 4 teaspoons of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of espresso powder, 2/3 cup of flour, a half a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. Okay, we're gonna start with our eggs. I will be using the mixer for this. We're going to put in our sugar, our espresso powder, and our vanilla. And we're going to mix this till it's all incorporated. Okay, and now our flour mixture. We're going to combine your salt and your baking powder to this. Give it a little stir, and we're going to add it to our mixer. Okay, your flour is going to want to stick to the edges, so you're going to want to grab your spatula and scrape down the edges so all your flour gets blended in nicely. Okay, for our next step, I have pre-melted my chocolate with some butter, and I'm gonna fold this in here. And there's lots of different ways that you can melt real chocolate. You can use a double broiler. I preferred to use the microwave today. You just have to make sure that you don't burn it. So you're gonna wanna melt it at 1 minute at a time and then stir each time. And you don't wanna overheat it because it will burn. Chocolate burns very easily when you melt it. Okay, we're gonna mix this in. And we're gonna add our cherries. Once you have that done, you're gonna grab your baking sheet and we're gonna prepare for baking. You are gonna wanna let this sit for about 10 minutes so it can set up. And then you're gonna add about a cup of chocolate chips. If you don't have the time to let it sit up and it takes longer than you would like, you can also put this in the fridge until it gets firm enough where you can scoop it with a scoop and put it on a tray. Okay, we've let our dough sit. If you find that your dough is really runny, you can add a little bit more flour to it, or you can stick it in the freezer till it gets stiff enough to scoop. Just gonna scoop a few on here. You're gonna bake these on a 350-degree preheated oven for probably 12 minutes or so. Now remember, if you're using a convection oven, your baking times are gonna vary, and you might wanna turn your temperature down. Okay, we're gonna put these in the oven and I'll be right back. Now that we pulled our cookies out of the oven, I'm going to plate one and show you what the inside looks like. Thank you for joining me today on this episode of Cookies with Carrie. Please stay tuned for more episodes where I'll be making more wonderful cookies. And if you have any questions regarding any of my recipes, you can contact me on my website at www.candyandcakesbycarrie.com. Until next time, have a sweet day.